Morning, Andy.
Hey Lisa, how are you today?
I'm doing really well, thanks. I was reading in an article in the paper about buyers who are concerned what happens with their deposits if something comes up, especially related to COVID-19, if they can, if they have a last-minute job loss or somebody's affected and can't proceed with the closing. For whatever reason, somebody gets sick, somebody else gets sick, and somebody has to take care of them. And so it made me think about that new addendum that we've got for transactions that can help protect that. So I thought we might want to share that with people today. So I'm going to share my screen, and there we go. Oh, wow, there it is. I'm always excited when I can make these things work.
I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Okay.
You got
This
it?
came up.
Yeah, good. Okay, so have you had an opportunity to use this yet?
So on a listing that I had that already closed, the buyer's agent was proactive and used this as soon as it was actually like probably one of the first days it came out.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. Well, it looks
Didn't
like
matter. We didn't have an issue, but yeah.
Yeah, but you have it so that, and the important thing is then there are things that can help if you get out of your due diligence period, if you waived your inspections and waived your financial contingency, and you're going to be able to get your loan, and then something comes up. Because if you do those things and then you decide not to close, the contract usually says that you don't get your earnest money back or your deposits back. And what this document does is it provides the ability to be able to get it back if something should come up at the last minute. And so I think it's pretty helpful. It looks like it's talking about this allows either party to suspend or terminate the performance if there are circumstances unanticipated, in this case, the COVID pandemic. So allowing us for unforeseen circumstances that the parties can agree to a number of things. Like what?
Well, like one of the main things would be, people are still losing their jobs. It's not like all the job losses stopped.
Right.
As things go on, more and more people are going to lose their jobs. And so if somebody does lose their job, we want to make sure that they can get back their earnest money. You know what? That's just the right thing anyway, even if they were past all their deadlines. Even if I was on the selling side, I just think that's the right way it should be. And
as long as it's definitely COVID related, because I'm thinking of an occasion where, let's say, an investor which happened to us, where an investor right at the beginning of the shutdown, the investor just said, "Forget it. I'm not gonna buy the property." And he wasn't sick. Nobody was sick. Everybody could continue with the transaction. He didn't have a job issue. Was it a cash deal? I can't remember. So he had the money. He just chose not to do it. And my recollection is that he agreed to release the earnest money back to the buyer, but in seller. Thank you. Yes, that other party. But it looks like there's like four options that we have in this document that people can agree to. One is just to postpone the closing for as long as you want to accommodate those unforeseen circumstances, after which either party can cancel and the buyer's deposit gets returned to the buyer. What's number 2 say?
Basically that if you can't get your loan, because basically that's the one that's related to somebody losing their job, protecting their earnest money. If you can't get the loan, even after it passed your loan due diligence, basically you would still get the earnest money back.
Yeah. And then the third one is that everybody just mutually agrees to cancel, and the deposit gets returned to the buyer. And then there's an other, if you decide to do something other than those 3 things that that came before. I think that anytime we're going to be writing up contracts for buyers, I think that this is going to be included as an addendum to the purchase agreement, because we want to make sure that everybody's protected. It does protect the seller too, because if somebody gets sick and they can't move, this gives them an option to maybe ask the parties to wait until the sale can close if the buyer's agreeable. If the buyer's not agreeable, then number 3, which would be just cancellation, is good. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I was calling him because it was like the 2nd anniversary of the sale of his house, and we were talking about, and he thought that it was actually 5 days later, but he moved into the house 5 days after closing. So we were talking about that, and I shared with him that we're recommending to buyers that they wait a few days after closing and the sellers have left before they move in, so that if there is any chance of there being any virus in the house, that it will have deteriorated by the time they move in. And of course, having the house cleaned. Have you seen any like comments and offers or anything about that issue, cleaning the house?
I haven't, but I've heard that buyers are requesting that the house gets sanitized before they take it over. Like normally people do clean the house. Often they hire a cleaning service, but it's more of a sanitizing service that people are looking at.
Yeah.
Companies in town that are providing that.
Yeah, even if that was done, I'd still, excuse me, I think I'd still want to wait a few days before moving in. Yeah. Well, so if you are involved in a real estate transaction or getting ready to, you probably want to make sure that this is one of the addendums that is going to be used to protect yourself and protect your transaction from the virus.
Yes, I would agree. At this time, I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty. Banks are sometimes taking a little bit longer to get things done. There's a lot of people still, I think at least, refining, so that slows the process down as well. Signing is a little more difficult. So, could be anything. Could be a lot of delays for different reasons.
Right. And appraisals or some, can be taking longer. So, yeah. Good. Well, thanks for joining us today and learning a little bit more about how to protect your real estate transaction from the virus. See you later.